So what happens when you have a truly world-changing innovation, but you're kind of stuck? We're going to dive into the story of a brilliant Swedish company that had exactly that problem. And more importantly, how they used a really smart, systematic approach to find that one perfect global partner that could unlock everything for them.
Seriously, just imagine it. You pour years of your life into a breakthrough that could literally change lives, only to realize you have no way to get it to the people who actually need it. For so many innovators, finding the right partner isn't just a smart business move. It's the absolute difference between incredible success and total obscurity. And that's the huge challenge we're going to unpack.
All right, so our story kicks off with this pharmaceutical innovator over in Sweden, and they weren't just cooking up another pill in the lab. No, they had created something truly revolutionary, a brand new technology with just massive potential.
So what was this tech? Well, it was all about what's called neonatal mesenchymal stem cells, or MSCs for short. Now, you can think of these as super powerful, really high-quality master cells that have the potential to treat a whole bunch of different diseases. So this wasn't just a single product, it was an entire platform for creating new therapies, a real game changer.
So they had this absolutely incredible scientific asset in their hands. But, as anyone in this field knows, a revolutionary idea is only half the battle. They were staring down a massive brick wall.
And right there, that's the heart of their problem. How in the world do you take a world-class technology and get it out to the entire planet when you just don't have the global footprint to do it yourself?
Let's just break down what they were missing, because it's a lot. It wasn't just about marketing. They didn't have the really complex regulatory know-how to get approvals in dozens of different countries. They had limited access to the markets where patients were. And maybe most importantly, they needed a partner with deep pockets to fund the final stages of development, which, trust me, are incredibly expensive.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got this diamond, this incredibly valuable, unique asset. And on the other, you've got the total chaos of the global market. There was this huge, gaping chasm between their amazing technology and its real-world potential. So they knew they needed a partner. The question wasn't if, it was who. I mean, in a world with hundreds, maybe thousands of potential biotech and pharma giants, how do you even begin to pinpoint the single perfect fit? Where do you start? So, how did they tackle this? Well, not by just making random phone calls and hoping for the best. No, they needed a system. They built what's called a strategic partner funnel to systematically and logically find their perfect match. Now, this funnel was basically the engine of their entire search. Each stage acted like a filter. First, they mapped the whole market to see who the real players were. Okay, then they dove super deep into those companies' strategies. Next, they looked for synergy. Did their tech actually fit with what the partner was already doing? And finally, the big reality check. Do these companies even have a history of making these kinds of deals? Each step just systematically filtered out all the noise.
So the goal here, it was crystal clear. Take this overwhelming world of possibilities and methodically shrink it down to a small, manageable, super high-quality list. It was all about finding that clear signal in a very, very noisy world.
Okay, so did all this work pay off? Oh yeah. Let's get to the good part, the results. Because this is where the strategy really delivered. Think about it. After scanning the entire global market, this whole process helped them zero in on just over 20 of the absolute top companies in the space. These were the ones that passed those first few filters and really deserved a much closer look. So then they took those top companies and plotted them on this super smart grid. It was designed to answer two simple questions. One, how good is the strategic fit? And two, can they actually deliver? The goal was simple. Find the partners who landed in that sweet spot in the top right corner, the target zone. And the result of all that analysis? The vast world of potential partners was whittled down to just 4 to 5 companies. Can you believe that? From a whole world of possibilities down to a handful of highly curated, perfect fit partners. So what made these final few so special? Well, they checked every single box. They were already big players in the stem cell space. This specific technology filled a real gap in their strategy. They had a proven history of making these kinds of deals happen. They had the global reach, and this is the big one, they had the financial muscle to see it all the way through to the finish line.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, what's the big picture? Ultimately, this entire process was about building a bridge from a brilliant idea to a commercially successful reality.
And that is the real transformation right there.
The innovator went from a state of, overwhelming uncertainty, feeling totally lost, to having a clear, focused, actionable plan. They knew exactly who to call, and maybe more importantly, they knew exactly why they were calling them.
There's a great way to put it. The real achievement here was bridging that gap between innovative science and commercial execution. It's so true. So many amazing discoveries get stuck in the lab. Real success is creating that connection, that path to the market.
And look, the big takeaway here isn't just for this one company. It's universal. For any innovator out there with a huge idea but, limited resources, finding the right partner isn't just a strategy for growth. It's often a matter of survival.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other game-changing technologies are out there right now, just sitting in a lab somewhere, waiting for the right handshake, the right deal, that one perfect partnership to finally unlock their potential and change the world?